Hi friends, 30% of all transactions that we do in India are digital. One of the highest in the world. Whether we buy vegetables, whether we buy medicines, it's all digital. Cyber crimes cost 1.25 lakh crore rupees lost 4 years back, and most of it to ransomware attacks. It continues to happen year after year. And the last year it was even more. Now this will continue to grow with the digital push, the smart cities, the 5G networks, among other digitization initiatives. Like I said, there is a flip side to everything that we do. What is the flip side? There are concerns too, especially in security. Now this Saturday, I will raise a few questions and seek a few answers. Let's begin. Security, whether physical or cyber, is precarious and uncertain until we provide it for all and make it a part of our everyday life. Now what started as fun war games developed by Matthew Broderick way back in 1983 has turned into serious business. Just a decade later, hacking now is real and fast emerging as a multi-billion-dollar business, and every 3 months there is a new attack which comes on the horizon. The World Economic Forum report a couple of years back notes that even as the world's digital dependency increases, cyber threats too are growing much faster than the society's ability to prevent and respond to it effectively, because the attacker is always one step ahead of the protector. Cyber crimes such as online fraud, identity theft, and ransom attacks are growing every year. Now these attacks are expensive, sometimes disastrous for individuals and organizations. Earlier, wars were essentially traditional. They were all arms, based on arms, modeled with infantry, artillery, and tanks, maybe of World War I and II era, many years back. But they have now evolved to include electronic warfare, information superiority, and cyber security. Today, a power grid can be hacked, a process plant can be hacked, and the whole system comes to a standstill. Now, Ukraine war or the Israel-Palestine war, they're all cases in point. Can technology provide security, or to technology-inspired wars, or help in mitigating the cyber crimes? AARP reported that Americans were hit by an unprecedented rise in cyber crimes a couple of years back. Now with nearly 850,000 cases reported to the FBI, Federal Bureau, and losses crossing $6.9 billion. That's massive. Most of the attacks were ransomware, business email compromises. No? There are several mails that you receive on your mail, sometimes routinely, promising you a lot of fines and things like that. Don't ever click on them. Scams, confidence scams, and cryptocurrency scams, very, very prevalent today. Be it the Ukraine infrastructure breaches or the Costa Rica's Conti ransomware attack that crippled their import-export businesses, were major ransomware attacks this year. In 2022, there were over 6.4 thousand cases of online banking fraud, reported across our country. Cybercrime related to ATM, debit card, credit card, and internet banking increased to 64 crores in a couple of years back from the earlier year, which was 59 crores, and was also reported in the parliament. Now it's further increased to almost 80 crores in the subsequent year, the last year. It's indeed good. It further increased to almost 80 crores in the subsequent year. It's indeed good that RBI issued instructions providing for zero liability to the customer if the incident were to be reported within 3 working days. Be it as it may, India witnessed 18 million cyber attacks and 2 lakh threats a day in the first quarter of 2022. Said Google's VP Engineering for Privacy, Safety and Security. Largest breach was Air India. Its data service provider, SITA, reported that in May 2021, data from Air India's servers was breached and over 4.5 million passengers' personal data was compromised. So we need to be vigilant about what is happening in our neighborhood. The Unique Identification Authority in India, UIDAI, asserts that Aadhaar data is fully safe and secure. Indeed, the data of all Aadhaar holders is safe and secure in the Central Identities Data Repository, CIDR, of UIDAI. But did you know that Aadhaar database in CIDR has never been breached in all its years of its existence? It and even introduced a new concept of virtual ID, which the other holder, card holders can generate differently every time they log in from a website and use for various purposes, including SIM verification, instead of sharing the 12-digit biometric ID. Now this gives its users the option of not sharing their Aadhaar number at the time of authentication. Now that's a useful intervention that UIDAI has made. People are very innovative, disruptive, unstructured, and technology savvy, way ahead of the structured developers that governments depend upon. Hence, data theft, sometimes through hacking, sometimes by, exploiting breaches in the last mile or anywhere in the operational supply chain, is always a possibility. Security policy, regulatory compliance, user awareness programs, access control, security audit, incident response, encryption, firewalls, and finally antivirus. Some of them we also use on our laptops. They are all important aspects of security. Friends, the past of cyber security was young and immature. The attackers were more innovative than the defenders who were mired in UFD or FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Attack back was illegal or classified then. Currently, cyber security is a scientific discipline. It's taught in every university, in every institution, and its application technology-centric. Cybersecurity can never be solved. Breaches, you can only address the breaches, you can only mitigate the breaches, you cannot solve the problem. It can only be managed. That said, friends, today, attack back is an integral part of cyber security, not like the times earlier when it was illegal. Its vulnerabilities and threats can change in seconds. Protective measures also can become obsolete just as quickly, which means that defenders must be doubly, proactive to anticipate what the attackers might do, create systems to do that, and then probably the cyber security concerns could be addressed, mitigated. Friends, India has an effective cyberspace security response system, a security threat and vulnerability reduction program. No? And we will need a quantum encryption to protect our digital assets and infrastructure from the attackers. 2 years from now, we will have quantum computing and quantum computers. The entire paradigm will shift. The entire cybersecurity market will transform. The cyber attacks will transform. And therefore, we need to be doubly vigilant when that happens. Further, we must influence an effective international cybersecurity or cyberspace security cooperation model. All countries must come together to cooperate with each other, share information, and build systems that can protect our entities. Technology keeps evolving, and so too the cyber crime. There are no boundaries in the cyberspace like we have physical boundaries in the countries. Therefore, cooperation becomes extremely important. We need to be vigilant and research in cybersecurity so we are a step ahead of the hackers. That's the only way to address the cyber security concern. With that, let me end this Saturday's episode with a promise to be back the next Saturday with another interesting episode. Until then, thank you, Dhanyavad, and Namaskar.